It's the Football Playbook with your boy, RIC, and a place to be. Ric Serritella, tell it like it is on this 94th edition of the Football Playbook. Oh, baby, 2 hours of straight power here on the JAKIB Sports YouTube channel. It's all brought to you by the Ocean Casino Resorts down in Atlantic City, your home for the Poundly Hockey pre- and post-game, the best pre- and post-game on the planet, I should say. God damn it. Make sure you get down there this Saturday night, then 8:15 p.m. kickoff. Ocean Casino is going to be lit all day long. Oh, baby, the gallery is going to be on fire. We're on fire right here today. Oh, my God, the chat room is already at it again. Big shout out to all the listeners. I see you getting started early up in here. Peter, William, TB, The Real, Go Phillypolis, Malcolm, Adams Exploits, Go Sixers, everybody. Tone the Shields holding it down, the super producer. Oh, man, I've been moving and grooving here on the JAKIB Sports YouTube channel. I had a chance to dial into Jeff Kerr around the AFC or NFC East, the Bird Gang, Mac and Mac, Texas boy joining us up in here. He's all excited about last night. We got the Cowboys showing us what they can do, what they're made of. And to me, the Cowboys, I give them a shot, but they're the most boom or bust team still left on the board, I believe. Jaguars don't count, but to me, the Cowboys offered a glimpse into what they're capable of doing. And yeah, when they're hot, oh yes, they're very hot. And when they're not, oh yeah, there's a lot not to like. But at the end of the day, we're trying to win 2 games here and get into the big dance. And so here we are, you out there, me right here, broadcasting around the football universe. By the way, we'll have my good friend Mike Tanier from the New York Times Football Outsiders will join us to wrap up the show at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, okay? We are officially 105 hours away from the Turnpike Trilogy. Eagles, G-Men, we're going to strap them up for round 3. I'm seeing 3 of them. Hit the one in the middle, Rocky. We're going to break it all down for you here over the next 2 hours, of course. 100 days away from the NFL Draft Bible.com or the NFL Draft, and the NFL Draft Bible.com is where it's at. Yesterday, I unveiled my quarterback big board. For those of you who agree with me, Miles Sanders will no longer be here next year. I got the running back big board published this morning. Not sure if we'll have time to discuss it here on this show, but make sure you check us out. We're the official NFL Draft content provider for Sports Illustrated, Phillypolis, Pelican, Mint Diggity, Go Sixers. Good to see everybody in the chat room flowing. This is your home for the premier Eagles community, okay? Because I'm not like WIP. I'm not like, some of these other channels out there that are Eagles fans. I'm not here to bring you the fan perspective, okay? I'm here to bring you a football observer perspective. And I'm telling you here, the Eagles should, quite frankly, win this ball game. Absolutely. 14-3 for a reason. Giants are a team that fluttered around 500. So to me, yeah, the Eagles, I think, will win the game. I think. Now, what we're here to do is explain to you right here why you should consider the other side of the coin, right? Because I was trading texts with Tone this morning. I said, brother, you cannot count out anybody this time of the year. Anybody got a shot, right? And I look at the NFC, and ain't it funny? We got a lot of young heads, old heads, and everybody in between here on the TFP with RIC. Jim Schwartz hired as Browns defensive coordinator, Phillypolis. We'll confirm that and talk about it. So here's the bottom line. We talk about the Eagles, their ability to adapt like a chameleon, how they can change from week to week. And, was that a good thing? Was it a bad thing? Ultimately, it became a great thing because you don't know which way the triple threat Jalen Hurts is going to slice and dice you this week. Will it be with his legs? Will it be with his arm? Will it be with his mind? Now, that being said, Giants are scrapping. They're clawing, tooth and nail, week in, week out, getting healthy at the right time. In fact, I was listening to the Giants. I happened to be in the car, had the Giants pregame show on. Our good friend Paul Datino, Johnny Schmelk holding it down. This is the first game all season against the Vikings that the Giants went into a ball game without any players on the injury report. Zero injuries the Giants have. Now, Ojulari left that game. I think he showed up with a quad yesterday. But this is a healthy team, scrapping and clawing. Oh, by the way, Saquon Barkley only had 9 carries. He caught the ball 5 times, so he only had 14 touches. They preserved them pretty well, I thought. Now, on the defense, I got this off one of the Giants beat writers, Nick Filato, this morning. I thought it was interesting because we talk about Wink Martindale, the tank commander, and I do think that this game is going to come down to coaching and adjustments. You saw last night, Todd Bowles, one of the worst, maybe the worst head coach in the NFL, makes zero adjustments. Oh, my God. And when you do that, you're left to be dead in the water. And I've seen the Eagles coaching staff do that at times, both on the offense and defense at times. That's not their MO. It's not the frequent thing, but occasionally they don't adapt or adjust because they are that arrogant that, hey, if we just stick to the game plan, do what we're supposed to, all evil will be conquered and good shall prevail. Now, check this out. Remix, whoa, that's serious. 2023 Giants are a different breed. They're a different bird. You know what I mean? You don't? Well, let me explain. So, during the regular season, the Giants, you know how Gannon loves quarters coverage? That's exactly what the Eagles defense is about. Giants rarely did that. 15.9% of the time, the Giants played quarter coverage during the regular season. Guess what? Remix, whoa, that's serious. Almost 50% last week against the Vikings, 48%, almost half the time, the Giants were lining up in quarters coverage. Now, that tells me the tank commander, Wink Martindale, he went back to the laboratory, dialed it up a notch. He said, hey, I haven't had a Dory Jackson in 6 games. Let me sprinkle that into the equation. Let me play this 2 linebacker dime package, Darnay Holmes, Julian Love, interchangeable parts in the secondary, right? So now suddenly it looks a little bit different, right? And you think of the Giants and the tank commander and Wink Martindale just sending the blitz, style it up, sending the blitz, style it up. Check this out, though. Remix, whoa, that's serious. 44% of the time, the Giants blitzed more than any NFL team in the regular season. Last week against the Vikings, not so much. 22%. Half of what they did during the regular season. So you know what that tells me? Gives the Eagles something to think about. We got strong coverage now. By the way, Leonard Williams, who hasn't played the Eagles yet this year, I believe, Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau, holding down that pass rush, they can get after the quarterback now. So what you've got to figure out is which Giants defense are we going to see this week? It's a pretty stark difference from what they were doing to what they're doing just a week ago. That's a stark contrast to what the Giants' DNA is all about. Now, it says here, Daniel Jones has been playing like a man possessed. And they kind of figured out how to minimize his mistakes. And I've been watching the Giants. I've been paying attention here now. I've been seeing what they've been doing. You know, one week I talked about it here on the show. I don't know if you guys remember. There was one week where the Giants were implementing eight offensive line fronts. They were having 8 offensive linemen line up with a quarterback and a running back and a tight end. I haven't seen that. Can't recall where I've seen that. if you notice, the Giants, they've been running the wishbone a little bit with Daniel Jones in the backfield. That's a hard thing. That's a hard thing to game plan for. And some weeks they show it. Some weeks it's out of the playbook entirely. Brian Daboll has been doing some things. I saw certain weeks where Saquon Barkley was running the Wildcat. Then 2 months go by, you don't see it again. I haven't seen the Giants do these kind of things. It's like when you send your high school girlfriend away to college and she comes back. You haven't seen some of these things. Where was that? What happened there? Next thing you know, you got a whole different perspective in life. You feel me? So I think the Giants are getting creative here now. Daniel Jones, over the last 5 starts, check this out. 72.4% completion percentage over the last 5 starts. That's pretty good. In fact, that's better than Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert. Pretty good company. Pretty good company. And in those 5 games, he had 257 rushing yards, right? So, and 3 touchdowns. So Daniel Jones is playing kind of like how Jalen Hurts was playing prior to the injury. Dual threat, averaging 50, 60 rushing yards a game. He had 17 rushes last week. Saquon Barkley, 9. Think about that. Suddenly, Daniel Jones, I never thought I'd say this in my lifetime. Suddenly, Daniel Jones is somebody you got to account for, right? Crazy to think about. But, my man, 24 out of 35 for 301 passing yards, 78 rushing yards, almost 400 yards of total offense, and a pair of touchdowns. No turnovers. At least somebody's paying attention, Philly 559. Adams exploits. I haven't dug into a lot of the all-22 like I wish I could have this season. But TJ Edwards, he's what I think what Gannon likes about him is he's smart. He won't kill you. He's got athletic limitations, but he's so cerebral that he can make up for the difference. But I think what Gannon likes about TJ Edwards, he's not gonna get you burnt. He's not gonna allow a big play. He can wrap up in the open field, and that's why they like TJ Edwards. And I think, if Gannon leaves, I think the value of the one TJ Edwards decreases. So, hey, appreciate the feedback. Love the interaction and questions. TB, the True Goat, Adams Exploits, Phillypolis, Illuminati, Kansu, 5573. Great to see you. Tommy Hetrick, buckle up. Go Sixers. Everybody from the long time to the first time and everyone in between. We're here weekdays, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern. We get it in for straight 2 hours of power. 2 hours of enjoyment for me, at least. So thankful that you're here. Seriously, appreciate you. What a community we got going, man. All right? Because we're not talking Philly-dilly silliness, right? We're talking real talk. Like, remember, like there's a young, here's where I was going earlier. There's a young fan base that might be along for the ride here that might not realize, like, when I was growing up, 80s, 90s, like the four NFC teams you've got remaining, that was the class of the NFL. The New York Giants haven't been there for about a decade, so a lot of people don't realize it. Like, the New York Giants are one of the all-time great first-class organizations. And so are the San Francisco 49ers for a very long time. This is one of the most storied franchises in all-time NFL history, along with the Dallas Cowboys, even though they can't win anything in the last 30 years. And as a Yankees fan, I'm starting to understand the pain. But, the Cowboys are one of the all-time great franchises. Don't get it twisted. We can hate them all you want. And quite frankly, the Eagles in modern day NFL, and they're one of the all-time original greats, but since Jeffrey Lurie has taken over the ownership, that has been a model first-class organization. It's no surprise. And in the AFC for a long time, it was the Steelers and it was the Patriots. I think you could put the Chiefs in that category. It's no surprise. These are the teams we grew up with. These were the first-class organizations that were there year in and year out. And how about Big Blue? They win their first playoff game in over a decade. Now they're knocking on the door of the Turnpike Trilogy. We're going to strap them up and do it again, January 21st. Alexander Freeman, I thought it was a Slim Jim. Oh, baby. Alexander Freeman wants to give me a Snickers. I'm trying to snap me into a Slim Jim. Where's George the Animal Steel when I need him? Elizabeth. Listen, guys, I'm just here to give you the other end of the spectrum. I think the Eagles should win. The biggest question mark is Jalen Hurts. And so I noticed now, like, here's where Daboll gets creative. He uses motivation tactics, right? We talked about getting into the mind of the Daniel Jones back in training camp, telling Wink Martindale about the play before it was coming. Bro, all I'm trying to tell you is this is a team with momentum and confidence and good coaching, and now they're pulling out all the stops. I saw this. Amani Toomer. The last time the Giants upset a number one seed in the playoffs was the Dallas Cowgirls back in 2007. Remember them? 16 years ago. And Amani Toomer now, they're using that team in 2007 that knocked off the number one Cowboys. Nobody gave them a shot. Everybody counted them out. And here's Amani Toomer, friend of the show, by the way. He's very outspoken, all over the media. Yo, everybody says Jalen's back. He's healthy. Let's see it. That's the same thing the Giants are saying inside the locker room. He's back. He's back. Let's see it, because they didn't see it in week 18. So that's why this team is oozing with confidence. Davey boy, you're missing the point, brother. What I'm saying is they're pulling out all the stops, the motivational ploys. The team, like Pat Shurmur and Ben McAdoo, didn't even let the all-time greats come around the team. Brian Daboll, first practice, invited all the Giants legends. He embraced the culture and the history. He gets it. He understands it. And he's going to use everything he possibly can. That's all I'm trying to explain to you guys. They're favored by 7.5. The Sharks are on the Eagles. It went up 0.5 point since yesterday. Be happy about it. I think the Eagles will win. I feel pretty certain and confident the Eagles will win. Unless we see a Jalen Hurts debacle. I don't think it's happening. We don't know. We just don't know for certain. Yeah, and they are. They're hoping Jalen Hurts is hurt to give him a shot. Michael Strahan's not walking through that door, Davey, but you're right. But Kayvon Thibodeau is. And Kayvon Thibodeau, man, he's like, yo, thank you, Giants fans, for ripping the heart out of the Vikings home stadium. Not easy to do. And that's why I think the Eagles, like the first go around against the Giants, the Eagles scored on three straight possessions. Right out of the gate. Bing, bang, boom. Zip, zam, zoom. And before the Giants could even blink, they were down, they were knocked out, they were beaten, it was over. That's what they got to do. Deflate that confidence. Pop that momentum. Nip it in the butt before you even give it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know Jody Mack will love this. If I'm the Eagles, I want to receive. I want the ball first. I want to put points on the board. I want the crowd behind me. I want the Giants to feel defeated out of the gate. That's my mentality as the Eagles. I'm coming out. I'm stomping you to the ground. I'm wiping out all that confidence and belief and hope and pride right from the get-go. Right? If I'm the sack pack, I'm coming after Daniel Jones' soul out of the gate. That's me. That's how I get down. Not saying the Eagles will do that, and that's why we're here talking about it. We're going to be about it. The Turnpike Trilogy, man. Oh, baby. Hey, Phillypolis, they're playing good ball. If you don't think Adoree Jackson and Kayvon Thibodeau played good ball last week, hey, we all have our opinion. I think they're playing good, man. I think they are. And I'm fired up because, I mean, this is the best time of year. Turnpike football, baby. Part 3. I mean, does it get better than this? It might next week when it's Eagles Cowgirls. Bro, the road to the NFC comes through the East. Bro, the East is running things out here in the NFC. Kidding me? Total domination, by the way. And obliteration. Kevin Savard, thank you, man. Hey, yo, I'm waking up. I'm putting together the NFL draft publication, our 21st year doing this. You know, I'm up so early. I got people suing me out the ass. I got bills out of the gazoo. I don't have the support staff like I did in the past. So we got to buckle up and start our day 2, 3 in the morning. You know what that means? 3 pots of coffee, then the football playbook, buckle up. We're fired up, man. And you're gonna get this for the next 100 days of straight fire, man. And then once the draft's passed and the dust settles, bro, I'm on to Operation Sandcastle at the Jersey Shore back here. NFC East, man. The road to the NFC runs through the East. William Birdie, health is a legitimate question, not just when it applies to Jalen Hurts, Lane Johnson, Avonte Maddox. These are very big pieces. The Giants have everybody healthy. It's unbelievable. I can't fathom an NFL team not having any injuries to their starters, to their whole team this time of year. I just never recall that. But here we are. The Giants had 0 players show up on the injury report. Now this week they got Ojulari with the quad. Questionable. Kevin, we're putting 3 espressos into the coffee. You feel me? Lava Java. Illuminati, 85. 85. Not a bad year. Not a bad year. Yeah, you know, the Eagles have a crystal clear path. I mean, listen, they dominate the Giants when, like I said yesterday, really the running back position is where the Giants have a clear advantage. If you break it down position by position, matchup by matchup, which we'll get into in the next segment, Eagles clearly the better team. But that's why they play the game. Who thought the Dolphins would lose by 3 points with Skylar Thompson? Who thought the Ravens would have a shot to win with Tyler Huntley down to the last jump ball down on the goal line? That's why they play the game, guys. You feel me? It's playoff football. It's the Turnpike Trilogy. Part 3. What a nice gesture by Mr. Tom Brady on his way out the door yesterday, huh? I want to thank all you media guys for covering our team. Get the hell out of Tampa, would you, Tommy? Oh, man. All right. So how are we feeling now after that opening, guys? Reuben Frank does a solid job, Adam. Listen, I don't listen to WIP enough to have an opinion. All I know is I put it on last week. It was so terrible. I don't know who the hosts were. I couldn't even have told you. It just wasn't my cup of tea. I'm into real talk. I'm not into what your dinner plans were last night. Could care less. As of right now, do the Eagles cover the spread, Phillypolis? I don't think so. And I don't think I'm surprised the over-under went from 47 to 48.5 because I think the Giants are going to milk the clock. I think they're going to run it left, run it right, run it with Daniel Jones, run it with Saquon Barkley. That's the only shot they have to beat the Eagles. They got to milk the clock just like they did against the Vikings. Time of possession, go check it out, 35 minutes to 25 minutes. They're going to milk the clock just like the Commanders did, just like the Bears tried to do, just like the Colts tried to do. And I think that's where, if you're an Eagles fan, where you don't worry, but you think back, you say, listen, here's a team, they're 14-3, but they played down to the opponent a lot. They played down to the Colts. They played down to the Bears. Now, the Giants are a good team, but the Eagles might look at them and say, yo, we're 14-3. They're nowhere on our level. Do they play down to the Giants? They did in week 18 against the Giants backup. So that's why there's so many variables. There's so many layers to the onion, right? So I don't think 7.5 right now. That hook might get you. That hook might get you. I think right now, if I had to make a prediction, I'd say, like 24-17 Eagles. The hook might kill you, Davey boy, good point. You don't know how the refs are going to call it. I mean, I've seen a lot of questionable calls in the playoffs. So a lot to think about. I thought I saw another question. Tampa Bay, yeah, I mean, I thought Louis Riddick made a good point. I saw, like, seriously, after last night's performance, who the heck wants Tom Brady as their quarterback next year? Somebody's going to fall for that? No wonder, like, if you notice, Sean Payton now, he's kind of been hitching his wagon to Russell Wilson. Think about that. He'd rather work with Russell Wilson than Tom Brady. I don't blame him. Russell Wilson, still young enough to be salvaged. I think Father Time might have finally caught up to Tommy Boy. All right, let's take a quick breather. Let's buckle up. Let's get a couple shots more of that Lavazza. Illy, Lavazza. What are we doing this morning? All right, smash the like button while you're here. It's our 94th edition of the TFP with the RIC here at the Jersey Shore. It's all brought to you by Ocean Casino Resorts. Take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get into some matchups. Mike Tanier, New York Times Football Outsiders. We'll see what the analytics, we'll see what the DVOA says about the Eagles and their Super Bowl odds right after this. Buckle up.